If you haven't already spent some time going over the PARCC tutorials and sample tests with your students, now is a great time to start. All of the tutorials and practice problems are built right into TestNav. Let's take a look at the best way to get there on whichever device you and your students will be using. One big change to note this year is that TestNav no longer works inside the Google Chrome browser. Luckily, for you and your students who are using Chromebooks, you can just use the TestNav app, which should already be installed on every student Chromebook automatically. If your students are using an iPad, they will also use the TestNav app. If you or your students are accessing the sample problems from a desktop or notebook computer, you can visit parcc.pearson.com/practice-tests via Internet Explorer, Firefox, or the Safari browser on a Mac. Last but not least, Pearson has released TestNav as a standalone application that you can run on a Mac or a PC. The nice thing about the app is you don't have to worry about what version of Java you have, what browser you're using, or settings like pop-up blockers. It just works on its own. Once you've opened TestNav on the device of your choice, you can find all the tutorials and sample tests in the PARCC training section. Needless to say, when your students take the real thing, they will need to choose their state and not PARCC training. If you or one of your students find yourself in the wrong section, simply click the icon at the top right and click Choose a Different Customer to allow you to switch from the training section to your state, or vice versa. The practice tests for every grade level can be accessed by clicking the small practice tests link right here. Once you've entered the practice test area, you can easily switch between ELA and Mathematics using the links at the top. You can also click the specific grade level from the list here at the left. It's not a bad idea to start with the TestNav 8 tutorial to get reacquainted with the interface. The tutorials section also has tutorials on using some of the accommodations built into TestNav, such as text-to-speech. The math section also has tutorials and practice problems for the equation editor, which your students will be required to use to answer many of the questions on the mathematics sections. Once you've mastered the tutorials, each grade level has 2 different parts that students can take to get more comfortable with the test questions and the format that they'll be seeing in the TestNav software. Once your students have spent some time with the tutorials and the sample problems in TestNav, they will be much more comfortable and can focus on doing their best on the real test.